Welcome to the show. Welcome to our studio. A studio that I might add is full of volunteer crew people.
Yeah.
Working hard to make this this show come together. It's so exciting to have a full complement here.
It feels like home.
This has been your dream for a while to be able to make this show, reality, and now to have this much support must be fantastic.
It is very nice because the whole goal with the show is to create community.
Yep.
And to talk about things that are positive and redeeming.
That sounds good. I like
we need it right now, don't we?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, so there's lots of negativity in
everywhere.
The world, everywhere.
Like I went, how
at the hairdressers, there's negativity.
Yeah, we'll get to that. I went off Facebook for a while, right?
Yep.
And social media and my phone. And when I went back on, I realized that I was actually feeling depressed when I was on social media because in my feed, there was so many bad things happening to people.
Oh, you got to follow happier people.
Unsubscribe.
Unsubscribe to just the kitty pictures.
No, I actually don't really like cats.
Okay.
But we'll talk about the hairdresser because that's one thing that I was noticing is I went to the hairdresser today.
And you look good. It's very
Thank
nice.
you. Yes,
job.
she said it was the cleanest she's ever seen my hair because usually I got
baby
all kinds of stuff
yeah,
happening. Yeah. But I was sitting there and I was just listening, and I just was listening to this lady completely disrespect the stylist, and I was like that awkward feeling, when someone's doing something
being mean and awful,
and then you're sitting there and you don't know what to do, you just want it to the world to swallow you. And so I was thinking about that Facebook quote that says it was circulated around when you're not nice, when a person's not nice to the waiter, they're not a nice person,
right?
Something along those lines.
Yeah.
And I think that goes for everything.
Yeah, it's not just. I mean, that's just one example. You're out for dinner with someone and they're treating you fantastically, and then the waiter makes this tiny mistake or is a little bit late, and they're
you idiot,
and they snap at them, and you're like, okay, that's your real self. You just all of that other smoke and mirrors. Yeah, I'm not buying any of it anymore.
Well, when you heat something up, the impurities come out, right?
Oh yeah. Really?
This angle here, Dave. Just kidding.
Yeah,
You actually look scared.
Well, no, because you're always nice to everybody. Right? That's what I'm supposed to say?
Read the script, Doug.
Read the script. All the script says is Kelowna Fan Xpo.
That's what we're here to talk about. We're not. Except I wanted to talk a little bit about, because another thing circulating right now is how many restaurants are only hiring skinny, hot girls. And it's something that I've actually heard many people coming to me I can't get a job if they feel like they're a bit overweight or if they they don't feel as attractive. Right. They feel like they can't get a job. How do you feel about that, Doug, as a man?
Well, I know that there's some restaurants seem to have not just a dress code, but they'll have a dress code, that is pretty skimpy for the female. The guys are wearing suits and ties and comfortable shoes, and I've got 3 daughters. I've been married for 30 years. I'm very familiar with what women go through on a daily basis.
Do you know, Doug? Do you know?
I hear about it. I don't know it. I haven't lived it, but I do my best to empathize and sympathize. And so and I've got friends, women friends that won't eat at those restaurants.
Yeah.
They say if they're only going to hire.
I do too.
If they're only going to hire people for their looks and they're going to force them to dress in revealing clothes, then that's just not. It's 2016.
It's not really sending the right message.
Well, it's.
And I've worked at some of these establishments, so I'm guilty for it too. And I had to wear the high heels and the shirt. I mean, the shorter the skirt, the more tips you get. I didn't go for it because. I like to cover things up. But I mean, it is an issue. Yeah. And I used to actually judge how attractive I was when I went to a certain restaurant. It's one of the big chains in Vancouver. I knew if I looked good because they'd offer me a job because they have the referral program. So when I was in 21, I was getting, every time I went into this one place, they'd offer me a job. But by the time I was 25, not a peep.
Oh no!
Not
over
a peep.
Over the hill.
So at 25, I was done.
Wow.
So
that's sad.
So then I just became a mom.
just a mom. You're a super mom. A super mom. And speaking of super,
Yes.
we've got the super folks from
The
KFX.
super segue.
Super segue. Super folks from KFX, the Kelowna Fan Xpo, coming up right after the break. All kinds of great comic book fun action.
And you're in it too.
I'm in it too. I'm all over this thing. I love this.
He does.
I just want to be that, right?
He wants to be this, the superhero.
Ripping the suit open, have DL across there.
DL.
don't know.
What would your superhero thing be?
What would your superpower be if you could have a superpower?
That.
That. The superpower of the Super Kelowna Rockets
Yes.
as they're tearing up the league. You
Yeah,
know, it's
that's
an
a-
amazing team. We shoot in Prospera Place, home of the Kelowna Rockets, and we shoot on Friday nights, and there's a game tonight.
And they like to be loud.
And about this time every day, they get out there, get pumped, get psyched. And so we like to think that they're cheering for us, but it's not
they
actually
are.
true.
They
but
are.
we like to think that.
I
But
like to fly, just so you know.
I believe you can fly.
I like to fly through time, actually.
You like to fly through time.
I like to-
Oh, your power.
My superpower.
I was
I was
lost.
thinking about it. I was thinking, because sometimes people want to read people's minds, but I think that I'm so sensitive. If people were
No,
thinking
yeah,
mean
no.
things, I would be so upset.
You can't handle Facebook. You
I
could
know.
not handle reading
I'd be
people's
in my
minds.
house crying. You'd be like, why are they thinking those things?
You
Like,
know,
what are you
not-
thinking right now, Doug?
What I'm thinking right now, we got what, 2 minutes? We got to tell people about Kelowna Fan Expo and the big lip sync throwdown challenge.
I'm so jealous. Like, I go in to have a baby, and then I'm just forgotten.
You just drop off the face of the earth for a while.
Nobody
you,
cares
You left
about me
social
anymore.
media.
I did.
What do you expect is going to happen? People forget about you if you're not constantly posting
Don't
pictures.
forget about me.
I won't forget about you.
If you go to my Instagram account, you can see thousands of pictures of my son.
Thousand. It's like real time, like moment by moment of their life.
Like the Truman Show.
The Truman Show.
They're gonna
Exactly.
hate me when they turn
They
18.
are. They really are.
But speaking of things that youth really like to do.
Yeah, Kelowna Fan Expo, huge. March 19th coming up. It's the world of like comic books and movies and all that sort of
Superhero, like
superhero
cosplay.
Cosplay.
I didn't know what cosplay was until we did our summer show at Vibrant Vine, and now I do. It's
I have to confess this to you.
what?
Last summer, me and my two youngest daughters drove to Los Angeles to go to the Anime Expo in Los Angeles, which is a huge, like the Los
You're
Angeles.
such a nerd.
The Los Angeles Convention Center is like as big as Kelowna.
I've been
right?
there. I used to
It's-
live across the street.
It is enormous, right? Like
Yeah.
you could walk for days without finding your way out of the place. Imagine that, full, absolutely full, so you can barely walk with Doctor Who, with Superman, with Batman, with 12-foot Transformers.
Look how excited he's getting.
And our very own version of that is coming to Kelowna. It's absolutely going to be incredible.
Well, and something that I actually know about, because I don't know a lot about the cartoon stuff. I liked Archie comics when I was younger.
I don't know a lot of Archie cosplay, but that would be cool. You could be
Archie cosplay.
You could be Betty.
Betty. Sign me up. I totally forgot what I was going to say.
Something you do know about, but you don't know
Oh,
about
yes. The CBC's Irrelevant show.
The Irrelevant show's coming.
They're
so funny.
so funny. Like, I didn't. My mom was like asking me to watch or listen to this, and I was like, "Oh, the Irrelevant show. What is this?" I listened to it. I was in tears. It was
really
so
good.
funny.
And it's gonna be live here in Kelowna.
Yeah, and you are going to be gracing the stage.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that.
I'd like to talk about that because, Tammy's gonna. Let's get Tammy out here.
Okay, let's get Tammy out here, then we'll talk about that.
And Bonnie, and then
Bonnie,
we can
and
talk about.
They can explain it. Here we are on the
Get your
couch.
voice ready.
Get my voice ready. It's a bit scratchy. I've got two grandkids in the house. Wait a minute, I don't have to actually sing. It's a lip sync contest.
Yeah,
what are you
what's
talking
this
about?
getting his voice ready?
Oh
I just have to put
yeah.
my moves down.
But don't people sing like a little bit while they're to make it more believable?
No. Well, you know what? Doug has a beautiful singing voice. However, for this particular gig, we're just looking for
muting
his
him.
moves.
So
His
if you don't know
moves.
what we're talking about here, this right here,
Kelowna Fan Expo, KFX for those cool folks.
coming to Kelowna. And you guys, Tammy here, she also works at Shaw with Doug.
Yep.
And they are doing a lip sync battle.
Yes.
It's
Yep.
it's the battle of the media titans.
And
It is.
Colin Bazeron, Mayor
mayor?
Colin, who used to be in media as well.
That's
Yeah.
right.
So, are you the mastermind here, Bonnie?
Of course. Well, of course, I just love to torture my friends. No, it's actually a lot of fun. I don't think I'm the mastermind of lip syncing. I believe it goes all the way back in time
But
to
who
1981. Who decided to lip sync?
No, this contest.
81.
What happened in '81?
Lip syncing starts.
Milli
the history
Vanilli?
of lip sync.
Was it Milli Vanilli?
Maybe, yeah.
Blame it on the rain.
Oh,
That's
Girl,
nice.
you know it's true.
Yep.
Yeah.
Look
yeah.
at that. We got a new singing sensation, a new
do.
duet here, duo.
But we digress.
Yes.
But we digress. Meanwhile,
So what are you guys
on the
singing?
stage at the Kelowna Community Theater,
Yeah.
Will be a lip sync battle, yes.
a battle
To
of
answer
the
your
ages.
question.
And what do you win? Like, so you guys are going to go
We
against.
win
Worldwide
the
domination.
competition. We win the lip sync.
No,
award.
that's mine.
That's yours.
Oh
right?
gosh, I guess I better round up an award, Lisa. No, it's like it's bragging rights.
Bragging
it's
rights.
bragging rights.
And who among us would ever brag?
That's right.
I'm going to guess you're going to do a Madonna song.
It's technically it's top secret.
And-
I did Madonna's song at Black Cat Cabaret. Thank you, Bonnie.
Yes.
Terrified me.
You
She might have
sang.
been terrified, but she wore the hottest little number and did that most amazing
You're
performance.
not going to do that at this thing, are you? Like, pulling out a costume like that is not fair.
Yeah,
That's,
use it, Tammy.
It isn't
just
fair.
might. I just
It
might.
isn't fair. She was pretty amazing, Doug. I think you should be scared. But you should be scared because you saw it too. I mean,
Right.
I think all of Kelowna saw Tammy in that amazing performance, and she's legendary now. So
I'm legendary.
She's got to take another legend on here, Doug Brown, who everybody knows
He's
and
going to be
loves.
doing Milli Vanilli. He's going to be doing Blame It on
I
the
have
Rain.
no idea what they're doing. Part of it, Lisa, is that you don't know what they're going to do. So it's a battle. They come to play, challenge each other. They talk trash a little bit.
Let's hear some of that right now. Like, I want to hear you duke it out a bit.
trash talk?
Trash-
Really?
No,
Us?
never,
We're the
ever.
best of friends and not competitive at all.
It's going to get crazy, you guys. So
know.
It might get a little wacky. Yep. I think it'll be amusing to say the very, very least. I've been watching, trying to get some advice off of YouTube, Mr. Fallon Show.
Yeah, there's some really, really good ones on
Yep.
Jimmy Fallon. There's also a whole show now that's lip sync battles.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Who was the Channing Tatum and his wife? Did you see that one?
I've seen quite a few
Quite
of
a
them.
few.
I'm quite an expert in the field now. However, I'm simply, turning it over to the beauties in Kelowna. And why aren't you involved?
Yeah.
Why aren't you
Bonnie,
involved?
why aren't I involved? That's a very, very good question.
You know what?
I have one baby, two babies.
This kind of
You
puts
forgot
me
how
on
many
this-
babies you
yeah. This kind of puts
just
me on the
had
spot
one.
a bit. I'm sorry, Lisa. I should have asked you.
Well, I had something prepared. I was just saying that I would have done
Lisa.
Jim Carrey's version.
Don't give this away. This is good. Okay, go ahead.
Don't
Okay,
you
well, you
want
could have
somebody
got-
to love from Cable Guy? And he's like,
Oh.
don't you want somebody to love?
Yeah, not a good choice. I would say that you want something that gives you some activity. Because you gotta
His
want-
dance moves. Cable Guy.
Well-
he's like all over that living room.
Yeah, I guess
We'll give you
I'm
that
gonna
chance.
I'm gonna crash.
Why
that.
don't
Funny.
you? Okay, Lisa. Why don't you come this year and watch, and then you can plan a whole year
Plot.
in
I
advance.
prefer the word plot.
Plot a year in advance. What you're gonna do?
Okay, so how can people see these two battling it out?
They can see these two and the mayor of Kelowna and two other very, very special guests and maybe one team do the lip sync battle at KFX on March 19th, which is next Saturday.
There's a whole lot of
19th?
competition.
Any final words from you two?
Good luck.
Oh.
You'll need it.
That hurts a lot.
It's just you didn't
I
get
love
to see the
it.
face here.
This is perfect. Absolutely perfect. It plays right into my hands.
Awesome. Next up, we're going to talk more about this Fan Expo happening this week in Kelowna.
Yay.
Thanks, guys. Good luck.
Thanks.
They won't
I'm on
need it.
Tammy's team.
Tammy,
Thank you.
Us women need to stick together.
I'm out of here.
Bye.
Oh, Doug.
Leave your microphone and your cell phone.
Come back, Doug. We need you.
We're back with Bonnie Gratz, Joe Welton, and what's going on here?
I believe that's Goldie Marg.
I believe you made that.
I didn't make it.
Not the mask, the person
The
behind
person
the mask.
underneath, actually, yes, the person underneath is my son Brock, who's, you could call him famous or notorious for cosplay, being especially cardboard cosplay in Kelowna. Yes.
So we're talking cosplay, we're talking KFS, the Fan Xpo.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about what's happening here in Kelowna for people that have no idea what we're talking about or why you're wearing a mask.
Yeah, well, to start things off, we maybe should tell you, hello, Brock.
He has a
there
face.
he is. So just kick things off, it's March 18th and 19th weekend.
Okay.
And we've got a really high profile gang coming, their improv gang of comedians called The Irrelevant Show.
I know all about it. I love The Irrelevant Show.
You love that show?
Yeah.
I'm so happy you're a fan.
My mom is actually the one that introduced me to it because she listens to it all the time.
Well, I'm not just a fan, I'm a super fan. Like, I love these guys.
Do they know?
They know. Actually, I first started to go see these guys. They weren't all together, working together, but in different groups in Edmonton. When I lived in Edmonton, when Brock was just a little baby. And I was involved with the Fringe Festival, and they do these Fringe shows all the time, and they're just hilarious. And they've just grown from there. And Mark actually came and was part of the festival that I worked on with last year with Joe, and he is so much fun. Like, he's just mind-blowingly fun, isn't he?
I've never met anybody as talented in person as that person. And when he comes back this year, I may have nothing to say to him except you are a genius.
I know, he really is. He's known internationally as the best improviser. Literally, like, people from London, everywhere call him to get him to come to their festivals. So I've always been a big fan of Mark, but also Joe doesn't know some of the other people in this group.
Yeah.
So Donovan Workin and Neil Grahn. Neil Grahn used to be part of a troupe called Three Dead Trolls and a Beggie, and which is, if you are a fan of them, they go way back to the 90s, but they've got this real cult following, these guys. So Jana O'Connor's joined them. She's younger, she's a mom, and she is amazing as well. And there's singing that's part of it. There's comedy, and most of all, they do these really unique parody sketches that they custom write, and they've custom wrote a bunch of them specifically for our festival that have to do with superheroes and comics and pop culture, because our festival is a pop culture festival.
Anything about the Okanagan at all?
All kinds of things. And you know what? Mayor Colin Bazarin's going to make an appearance at their Relevant show too, and he's going to be doing this segment called Kelowna Fun Facts. And I actually know a couple of the facts he's going to be saying, and they are just wild. Anyway, it's really
Even the
a big
Rockets
deal.
like it. You hear the cheering.
Yeah. Literally, though, this is a really big deal because the Relevant show is a nationally broadcast show, and so they're going to say live from Kelowna, live from KFX and Kelowna, the Irrelevant show, and people from all across the country are going to be listening to our part of our festival and know about KFX. So we were like so over the moon about this because we know and love them, but now everybody else is going to know how cool they are in Kelowna, and everybody else is going to know how cool we are because
Super
we've got
fan
them here.
turned
We are
host.
we are
Across the
super
nation,
fans.
CBC will broadcast the event, and that's going to be crazy.
Yeah, and so they're taping this live at Kelowna Community Theatre on the 18th.
Okay.
And it'll amount to 2 episodes that will be broadcast on air. So
Awesome.
pretty cool.
So how do people get involved, and what kinds of things are we going to be seeing? I know there's going to be the lip sync battle, which I'm
Yeah.
super excited to see. But what other kinds of things can people expect when they get a ticket?
We have all kinds of performers that are going to come and be part of the day. Spandy Andy is this internationally known street performer that does these wild dances that incorporate the audience, and he has been on So You Think
In
You Can
spandex?
Dance. There's the
Is it
Spandy.
you? Is it you?
No. This guy, he was actually a
trust him.
personal friend of ours.
Back
When
in
we lived in
Calgary.
Calgary, he and his brother we know really, really well. They performed
Does
with my theater
Spandy Andy's
company.
coming over for dinner tonight? Like, does
He
he
is.
wear it
Yeah.
everywhere?
He does,
Gets him in trouble
and
sometimes.
he gets in he has a lot of trouble. Sometimes trouble, sometimes fun. But he is so memorable. He's been on So You Think You Can Dance. He has been
Wipeout.
on Wipeout. He is hired by like the kings or princes in Dubai. He's hired, well, whoever.
He's on Australian TV
He's on Australian
recently.
TV. He's all
Doing
over
what?
the place.
What's he doing?
Dancing.
He dances.
Dancing.
He dances
He's
in
dances.
spandex.
Yeah. The live music component this year is really exciting. We're having a band called The Slants. They've been on Conan O'Brien. They have been on the cover of the New York Times. They have been on National Public Radio.
Look at you planning this.
I know, HBO.
And they rock.
They're really good. They're from Portland, Oregon, and they're super, super excited about coming. So our performers are like top notch.
Awesome.
But that's not all, because we also have a huge film component that's part of our
what?
event. A film component. Film.
Okay.
Film.
I thought I said phone. I'm like, can I call in?
Phone. No, film
And
component.
Judge
that's
Tammy
what-
and Doug.
That's what Joe is looking after, is the
So,
film component.
Joe-
Yeah, so if you're a horror fan, especially this
I'm
is...
not, but it's because I have
Well, if we drag you
nightmares.
in there, tape you down to a chair, then you'll have no
Well, we
choice.
don't have
Spooky
to do that though, because you couldn't get seats in there last
No,
year because it
I
was so
say that
popular.
jokingly, but there's no space.
Yeah.
It will
Oh,
fill
I know.
quick.
The Horror Fest stuff is so popular here.
Yeah.
In
People
the
here
Okanagan.
love scary movies.
I just can't anymore.
There's two components. There's the local component, so the OSIF, the Okanagan Society of Independent Filmmakers,
Yeah.
are showing the best of Horror Fest.
Okay.
So there's winners for all the years, maybe some second place, Doug Browns, who
Yay.
knows?
Doug.
A few others, and there's also outside filmmakers from Vancouver coming. One of which is this production company called Luchagore, which is a horror film independent production company that's now being repped and talked about by Eli Roth. And they've just been, it's kind of a secret, but they've got huge projects on the way.
Yes.
Massive film projects, and they're going to come down, talk about how they got to where they were, like how they've won awards on 4 continents.
Yeah.
Like they're crazy
They
following.
have a huge
Well,
following.
the Okanagan is becoming a major hub for like some really cool things in the film industry, especially.
Absolutely.
So,
Right,
Yeah.
so they're going to come and tell young local filmmakers how they did it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and most of it's just hard work by the sounds of it, but they're also super talented.
Yeah.
So it's exciting. They're going to show their films, which is not for the faint of heart. So just make sure you know that. And then we've also got the production company and the lady behind Puppet Killer
Yeah.
is the name.
Puppet Killer.
Puppet
Yeah.
Killer.
Puppet Killer.
About a puppet that kills. Which is awesome. And they're bringing in some local actors as well. It's Lisa Ovies is the lady behind
she
that.
did the documentary Taking My Parents to Burning Man. That's her, and she's got great people she's bringing.
Yeah, she's bringing in obviously herself. She's also bringing in Catherine, one of the stars, and a local star named Jet Klein, who's in a huge movie called The Boy.
Yeah, and Catherine, did you know that Catherine was in Tron? She was in Alyssum and Godzilla. Catherine Lowe Hellquist. So she's got a great name
I
too.
didn't want to attempt the last name
Yeah.
pronunciation.
There's
Sorry.
so many people in the Okanagan that we don't even know, like that are like living amongst us that have done such extraordinary things, especially in the film industries.
We've also got a huge name in the anime world. Brock.
Vic Mignogna.
Yeah. So did you want to talk about him, Brock? Because you're
Totally.
the kind of resident expert on Vic.
Well, judging from the giant robot head on my legs right now, I'd like to think so. Vic Mignogna is a huge name in the anime industry. He's dubbed tons of shows over from Japanese to English. And his biggest role is as the lead character on the anime Full Metal Alchemist, which has crazy popularity.
What's that
But
in a week?
maybe Lisa knows his other thing he's more famous for too, Dragon Ball Z. You've probably heard of Dragon Ball Z.
I think I have.
Yes, you have.
I mean,
yeah.
a lot of what you guys are saying is like, you know, but like to do with the anime kind of stuff. But I'm pretty sure I've heard of the Dragon Ball.
But you know about cosplay though, so don't pretend to be Little Miss Innocent because we dressed you up this summer.
Yeah, but it was like I was
personally.
being told what to do.
I know.
the whole time.
So tell her about how we've like totally revamped the cosplay stuff.
Well, thanks to our brilliant local cosplayers, Jen Pin, Shelby Bach, Andy Ray, and Danny Chen, we've done a great amount of reworking of our cosplay contest. We've taken it up a notch. It's really cool. And this year, everything's going to be a lot more streamlined, a lot more organized, and we're going to make it a lot more fun for everyone involved, both the cosplayers and the audience who gets to watch. So we're really excited to be a part of this.
And I think what we did is we created all these different categories because we didn't realize how amazing the community was here for this. Speaking of communities, people spend thousands of dollars on making these custom costumes.
300 of our guests last year came out in cosplay.
I
It was
just
crazy.
going to ask you that
That's huge.
if
It's amazing.
people that are coming are dressing up.
They don't
too.
have to, but they do. And
I
it's
know.
huge.
And they're all marvelous. It's great.
Yeah,
We have a
and-
wonderful city.
Yeah, we really do. And people, like now we're getting all these calls from groups that like, we want your cosplayers, bring your cosplayers to our events. So it's really
300.
making events in
300?
Kelowna.
At least last year.
But
yeah.
it's making events in Kelowna look really, really cool and multifaceted because now these cosplayers are having different locations to go to and are part of other festivals that are part of Kelowna throughout the year.
Usually they have to go to Vancouver at
Yeah.
least to do this kind of thing, and we get so much thanks from the local community saying, "Thank you for doing this. You know, I'm 15. There's not a lot for me to do that I like. I mean, there's a lot to do in this city, but if you're a little more introverted, into Magic the Gathering, you know, to be the stereotype like I was at 15, then this kind of thing is great. This is what feeds you. This is what brings out your creativity."
Right.
And like, we have so many people thanking us for doing that. It's great.
And that same community is such a huge reason of why we're able to do this and put it
Sure.
on, because we can set up the event and we put in the hard work to make sure the stuff's there, but it wouldn't be nearly as cool as it is without the awesome group of people that we have showing up every year. And honestly, it just feels like a big group of friends. We're like a great family.
Big party, essentially.
Yeah.
There's like anime screenings all day. We would be remiss if we didn't mention this year we have this huge kids zone. So you'll be into this with your little guys. The library upstairs is all going to be set up like a Disney Star Wars experience. Kids can go through this little experience and they can win prizes and
Is there
get their
food?
names entered.
That's the only thing my son will do is if it has food
There
involved.
isn't food upstairs there, but in the RCA where we have over 60 vendors, there's a lot of really exciting things, including some really funky kind of ice cream there, and vendors from all across the Pacific Northwest.
And food trucks.
And food trucks.
Okay, now we're
outside
talking.
of Casey, mini donuts,
Yum.
tacos, TNT, Surfside Tacos is going to be there, Ogopogo Donuts. Like, it's really like a big, huge
Are you
festival.
dressing up?
I usually wear our shirts because we want people to be able to identify us, but I know my co-producers Sheila Campbell and Aaron Scott are going to be dressed up. I know that we have a whole bunch of people in our volunteer pool of over 60 different people that are going to be dressed up. So
Is
it's gonna
Doug
be
and
cool.
Tammy and Colin going to be dressed up?
Well, you know what? That's a secret because it's part of the lip sync, you know, you can't reveal. Lisa, we've told you, you
Can
can't reveal
can
an
I
event.
design Doug's costume?
Sure, you know what?
Lots
That
of
would make me
spandex.
very happy, Doug. I know you can see me in there.
I would say that, you know, any advantage you can give him, you want to, because Tammy's a tough competitor. What can we say?
I want Tammy to win.
Okay, well, oh, I see.
So how do people? We're out of time, but how do we get people to come out to this?
Well, you can get your tickets from selectyourtickets.com. And we encourage people to do that in advance. We don't have a lot of advance tickets left. If those tickets sell out, which we anticipate they will probably even by the
definitely.
time this airs, we do have tickets, day of tickets, that you can get by coming up to any of the locations at the library, at the RCA, at Kelowna Community Theatre, the Black Box Theatre.
Get there early.
Get
Okay,
there
it
will be
sounds like there's
lineups,
something for everybody.
Yeah,
Yep.
and
Gaming, TV, anime, movies, comics, whatever your scene is, we're there.
yeah.
Done. Well, thanks so
Nice.
much for coming,
Thanks
you guys.
for having us.
I'll be there. I'm going to crash the party.
Please do. We want you to.
I'm ready to escape my house of baby.
It's theater for all. That's what we're all about.
All
it's
ages.
for all.
Everyone's welcome.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, thanks again, guys.
Thanks, Lisa.
I have to try that out.
Sure.
Let me have a little.
Kind of bulky.
Nice.
How do you keep this
See-
on your head?
So now,
I, for one, welcome
Big
our robot
head.
overlords.
I'm a robot, talking like a robot.
so now when you don't feel like getting dressed up and coming out with your new little baby at home, you can just put this on.
Can I wear this for the next week?
I needed to
I won't have to do
promote,
makeup.
Rather than a power suit, a power head.
Awesome.